What's up, everybody? It's Tuesday night, which is another date night.
I'm dodging a hurricane.
There we are. Absolutely. So we are back doing our thing as usual, like every Tuesday night, and on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. We're not on TikTok tonight, and it's the Let It Go podcast for Elsa, the host.
Let it go. For whoever doesn't know, we were upgraded to a hurricane earlier this afternoon. They keep switching back and forth. I'm not really worried. I mean, in the last 30 minutes, it started to downpour. Jamie said, 5 minutes ago, he's like, "Oh, I can hear the rain." I'm like, "Yeah, it's starting to get bad." So if I peace out, I'm sorry. It's because I've lost power.
Yeah, hopefully it won't be that bad. But like I says, it's a hurricane, so
it's a hurricane.
It's blowing all over the place.
Much love to all of my other super fans in the Tampa area. I'm sure we will all check in with each other tomorrow to make sure that everybody's okay. But I'm sending everybody safe prayers, and hopefully we don't get flooded. Fingers crossed.
Hopefully, yeah, I'm hoping that as well. So let's be able to move forward and hopefully all with the same type of safety.
Yes. Well, I mean, I have sandbags, Mr. Big stepped up to the plate. God bless him, because I went into panic mode yesterday. He saw
I thought that you were going to be up at his place, actually. So I thought we were going to be doing it from his location.
There was a really good chance that we were, and the only reason why we're not is because it's not mandated that he goes into his office tomorrow. So unless I was going to have to evacuate, we wanted to be able to be here and clean everything up and have everything under control for tomorrow. So.
All right, well, that's cool. That's good. Yeah. Look at that. Mr. Big doing his thing.
I know. God bless him.
And for everybody who's on Facebook, they got a picture of Facebook, Instagram, maybe even TikTok. I didn't see it on TikTok, but everybody got a picture of Mr. Big. They didn't really know who it was, but
nobody knows who it is.
But I saw it. He's looking good. He's looking good.
The poor
I know he's in the background over there, so I'm just letting him know good work out of you.
I know. I feel so bad too, because he has not wanted to take pictures since my birthday, because he's had that sinus infection, and he's on round 2 of antibiotics, and he has an MRI. He's got something going on, and his eye will literally swell shut. So yeah, he's avoided everybody except for me.
Gotcha. Well, good on him. Like I said, and he stepped up today to make sure that everybody is safe, from Hurricane Elsa. Of course, she just couldn't let it go.
Can't let it go. Cannot let it go. I texted you early. I was like, "Oh, Elsa is an angry princess."
She's a queen.
She's a queen.
Elsa's the queen.
She was the queen. She's having a queen moment.
Yeah, she's the queen bitch.
She is the queen bitch for the next 48 hours.
So, but everybody. So, anyways, like I said, I don't know where you're going to be watching this from today, because I was put in Facebook jail. So
I know, and I tried to bail you out, and it didn't work.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised. I think that they did let me go live on my personal page.
Oh wow!
At least it shows it, but we're not live because I went in Facebook jail. Our Two Birds page is not able to show this episode tonight.
I know, it's so weird.
Which amazes me, because I got flagged in the NFC Trash Talk page.
Why are the other super fans flagging other super fans?
They're not super fans. These are super fans. These are Karens These are Karens posing as Cowboys fans, and they suck balls. That's what they do.
I have to tell you
they are little babies. They are little baby bitches, is what they are. And I don't want to say too much because I'm afraid somebody may get triggered here and then want to, flag us here. But, as far as I'm concerned, Cowboys fans are little bitches.
I can tell you there's only one Cowboys fan that I actually like. So,
well, I like a couple of them, and I know that those guys aren't bitches. You know what I mean? Like, I know that like True Blue and I could banter back and forth, and he knows what I mean when I say it. You know what I mean? And I can even get a little rough and tumble with him, and he's fine. You know what I mean?
And he's fine. I love me some
with
True
Balls
Blue.
Mahoney. With Balls Mahoney, I could do the same thing with him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I've never bantered with him, but
and he's a tough guy to banter with because he's not a bantering guy. He's an all love guy. You know what I mean?
I was like, I've never bantered. I've bantered with True Blue, but I've never bantered with him.
But yeah, not this group. And here it was the trash talk. It was like the trash talk page. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
That's where they're always the worst. I'm telling you.
Little bitches. But it is what it is. I can't help that.
Oh wow.
So, anyways, tonight we are on YouTube and Twitch and Twitter and stuff like that. And there was some stuff that happened to me this week that's actually an interesting story.
I know you didn't even want to tell me. You were like, "No, this is waiting."
Yeah, it was better. It was better to do on the air. I thought, just because you get to hear it and get an original reaction. So, on one of my dating sites, I was contacted.
You were poked? Somebody poked the bear?
This person actually said something.
Okay.
And they are trans. Now, I'm not a trans guy. You know what I mean? I'm just there is a certain fetish for that for people out there, and I don't tell people how to live their lives.
No.
However, there is a group out there for that type of stuff. I'm not.
There's a group out there for everybody.
Not interested. You know what I mean?
No.
And
I would appreciate the fact that she told you on the front end.
Well, no, she didn't tell me. She just sent right out. She came right out. So, what are you looking for? And I'm like, it sounded way too familiar. So I think that this person's been watching our videos. Because remember, I said something very similar to this when I met my business coach. She goes, "So what are you looking for?" It's kind of like she said, "What are you thinking here?" This is exactly what she said. And I responded to that. This guy was like, "Well, what are you looking for?" Or this girl was like, "What are you looking for?" And I haven't responded because I there's a couple of ways I was looking to respond. I'm looking for a real woman. Is that inappropriate to say?
A little, yeah.
I am looking for. So she was very specific, or he was very specific, or they were very specific.
And you don't know really what to call that individual because you don't have a relationship with them and everybody wants something different.
So the singular they were very particular, very specific. I don't want a smoker. I don't want a drinker. I don't want anybody who does drugs. And I'm like, yeah, okay. That takes me. Because not only I don't smoke, but I definitely drink and I smoke pot. So I am definitely game.
You are definitely not the one that's going to be like, I'm giving up alcohol. And not drinking to be in a relationship.
Not at all. But
yeah, no.
it was it was interesting because like you get messaged and it's from Dawn,
Hi, Don.
and then you go take a look at the pictures, and the first picture is Dawn, and Dawn's a little bit bigger, not my type, but yeah, whatever. Look at the second picture, and it's a guy, and then the third picture is you could tell that she ain't a girl.
Got it.
I mean, and I'm just like, that they're, like I'm on this site specifically because I know that this is out there. You know what I mean? And I use this site for content. This is on Badoo, and Badoo has a couple of things. Here's what's on Badoo. You have to be Hispanic, typically, or I want to say Polynesian.
Yeah, I can see
From
that.
Polynesia, because they are looking for white men to marry.
Yes.
So it's a very, and then there's trans people. A lot of transgender women that are on this site. And like I said, I use this site specifically just to be able to keep up with content. You know what I mean? For the show. It's like it's interesting to me, and I want to see what's out there and kind of how things are. That white women are definitely the minority on this site, to the tune of probably about 7 or 8 to 1.
Wow.
So for every one woman, there's 8 Hispanic, women of color, things like Polynesian women. They're just all different types. So, FetLife, I am on. So I am on FetLife. I can get into that. That's a whole different scenario. FetLife is a whole different world that it will take a whole show.
I've never been on FetLife. What's FetLife?
Well, for Fetish Life.
Oh,
Fetish
okay.
Lifestyle.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, there's a reason why you wouldn't be on Fetish Life if you aren't into the lifestyle. So,
yeah, I don't really have weird fetishes.
And it's not even weird fetishes. Like you just, I mean, there's fetishes over there for like, women who love shoes.
Oh, I'll do a shoe thing.
Right. So, I mean, there's a shoe fetish. There's a peanut butter fetish. There are fetishes for everything that you could possibly think of. So, and FetLife is the spot to have it. I have a lot of friends that are on FetLife. I personally also am on FetLife. It's one of those places you would never find me because you would have no idea like what I would be into without knowing me in that realm. That being said,
I know secrets.
Huh?
I know secrets.
You don't even know all of them.
I don't know all of them.
You know very little secrets. You know that I have a bondage
I know
room
enough to know that
I've got a bondage room in my house for all those people. I have a lot of equipment, that I keep in one room specifically. But that being said, it's not a matter of anything specific like that. I mean, like I said, FetLife is a whole different world, and we'll get into that one day, but not today. So, but I had that happen, and then the other thing that kind of happened this week was I was late for this part of the birthday party, but I heard that it was a surprise 30th birthday for my sister-in-law's niece.
Okay.
And we're close enough to be in the family to do that. And she had a midget stripper that looked like Trump.
Oh, and I missed it.
A Trump midget stripper.
I would have gotten all the pictures.
I missed it. I would have been hysterical laughing. I mean, it was And I got all different sides of the story. It was like oh my God, it was the most amazing thing that they had ever seen. Oh my God, it was I don't know if I would really call it great or whatever. It was just, and then I got
would have peed
it was
myself
the most
laughing so hard.
disgusting, vile thing I'd ever seen. And I'm like, wow, this is
Wow.
really, you're really getting triggered on all sides of this equation
Right.
here. I mean, I would have thought it was a piss. You know?
Oh, I would have peed myself laughing so hard.
And that's how I would have done it. I would have been hysterical with my phone out, watching this, like every moment of this. Like it would have been funny.
Every moment.
And not
this
everybody thought it.
Midget Trump guy have a TikTok? Can we follow him? Is that a thing?
You know what? I didn't get that. I didn't even get that far, but you might.
Why don't you ask
have
the
one.
right questions, Jamie?
Well, because I wasn't there for it. I was getting told the story. I'm like I didn't even think about that. I would have been like, how do I get a hold of this guy?
How
And
do I
why
find
can't I have him on the show?
How do I find you?
So yeah, I bet you all you have to do is Google it.
Probably.
Midget stripper, Trump lookalike, and somebody may pop up. Anyways, but today's show talks about when is it appropriate to do the deed.
To do the deed?
To do the deed. When are you going to give it up? When should you give it up? When is it appropriate to give it up? And the reason why I'm bringing this up on the show today is because I've had another incident where I have spent the night at a woman's house and did not have sex.
Are you just like not into doing the deed lately, or what's going on?
I tell you, I was into doing the deed, but I'm not into raping anybody. So I'm very particular. I'm very particular that when they say no, and I understand that sometimes no means yes.
No,
I mean, play that card.
Don't play that card. But if she said no, then what's her real intentions? Like, she wants to spend more time with you? She doesn't want to be the girl
No. So in this case specifically, there was some more ties to it that she didn't want to possibly there were certain lines in the sand that she didn't want to cross.
Okay.
So I understood why she didn't want to do it. However, the way that it happened kind of got me a little frustrated. I was like, really? This is like all a little weird how this came about. How is it that, again, this is the second time in a row recently that I am spending the night at somebody's house, sleeping with them. For the most part, like just the only thing that we ain't doing is fucking, excuse my language. And
I have a really hard time with that. I mean, I get if girls want to say no. I 100% agree with it. I get if a girl wants to say no and you don't want to sleep with somebody and you're not ready to cross that boundary yet. But if it's to the point where you are doing everything up until actually having intercourse, I think at some sort of sense that's still having a sexual relationship.
Oh, I mean, it's not a matter of the sex part that bothers me. I'm okay with not giving it up. You know what I mean? Because ultimately, at the moment they give it up to me in the first place, most of the time I'm not interested afterwards.
You're like, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. Like all right, I've slept with you now. I'm done. Like you weren't that good, or I'm not as excited to see you this time. It's like you have to interest me. to get me.
Okay, so are these girls interesting enough that you want to spend more time with them to
So
get to that point?
this girl, the most recent girl that this happened to, her and I get along really well. Like really well, like weirdly well. Like it's one of these situations where you would see the two of us together and you'd be like, I don't see that. But we just hit it off. Like we can talk, we communicate. She's a little older than I am, but
Okay.
ultimately, and she's definitely not my type in any stretch of the imagination. And when all is said and done, we just are able to communicate well with each other.
Huge thing. That's a huge important thing.
Right. That all being said, when she said, in fact, at one point, she told me, like, as we were like doing stuff, she's like, okay, you got to go. And I'm like, it's 3:00 in the morning. You want me to leave? Like, is that what you want me to do? Because I'll leave at this point. Like, I'm not playing any games. Like, if you're telling me I got to go, I got to go. I'm not interested in playing this. You know what I mean? It's like I will do whatever, because I'm not going. I'm also get a good night's sleep. Then if we're not,
I might as well go home and get a good night's sleep.
And then of course it's it's like the hemming and hawing and stuff like that.
No, don't go. Stay.
Well, no, it wasn't like a no, don't go, but it was like, I just don't want to do this. Okay. Did you have a condom? No, I didn't bring a condom. Oh man. Yeah, I don't want to do this. Whatever. I am not going to play that card. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Those are very mixed signals. And
very, very, very mixed signals.
If they're that mixed, you probably should have just left.
Well, instead, I just went to sleep.
Well, that was option
like
2.
Leaving because I was like, yeah, okay, I'm good with this. Thanks, guys. Your lovely parting gift is I'm going to bed.
Jamie snoring.
I don't snore.
Yeah, Jamie, you don't snore.
Everybody tries to too. I heard I snore pretty loud, but nobody can ever prove it.
Next time you stay at my house, I'm going to record it from my bedroom when you're like asleep down on the couch.
Is it really that loud?
Yes.
I it's funny because I hear people say that to me all the time. Can't be for very long. It's only for about an hour or two, because that's all I sleep.
That's because you don't sleep long. Like, you sleep in short periods of time. I get that, but you snore and it's loud.
Okay. I don't believe you, but that's fine.
That's fine. I'll prove it next time.
Neither here nor there. But so it made me really start to think about, for everybody else, when is the right time to start to give it up? Now, most time the guys don't get the opportunity to make the decisions. The guys are like, yeah, let's do it. And eventually the girl gives in. There are certain times when the guy holds out, and then if the guy holds out for too long of a time, the girl thinks that it's her, there's a problem, she moves on. Mm-hmm. So you can't, it really is all decisive on the woman, on when is the time to do the deed.
When is the time to do the deed?
And that's what my question is today for the women out there. When is the right time to do the deed? When is it appropriate?
For me, I think it varies in every relationship that I have been in. I have been in relationships where I've had sex on the first night, and I've been on relationships where I haven't had sex in the first 90 days. So I don't think one relationship has been better. I do notice that if I am not getting that initial sexual attraction to you, that I want to have sex with you, then I'm going to lose interest pretty quickly because that spark's not there. That chemistry's not there.
Got ya.
And I know that we didn't have sex on our first date. I don't think it was our second date either.
Who are we talking about?
Mr. Big.
Okay.
I don't know.
Because I know that we have not had a date to have sex.
Yeah.
So I know you weren't talking to me.
No, me and you have not had a date to have sex. We have slept underneath the same roof plenty of times and never had sex. That is correct. Yes.
But yeah, so I have, like I said, because the last time that this had happened, I know that she was trying to make the guy jealous. The second, this last time, this person wasn't trying to make anybody jealous. They were just.
Maybe she just wasn't ready.
Maybe.
Maybe she wanted to be ready and ultimately she wasn't ready, which is why she was like, I want to, but I can't, but I'm not going to, but maybe her whole thought process in her head was coming out, and the minute she was talking herself into it, she was talking herself right back out of it. Who knows? I don't know. You have to talk to her about it. Here's the thing though, there's nothing wrong. If you like this girl, there's nothing wrong with going back to her and saying, hey, what exactly happened? Did I do something to make you feel uncomfortable? Were you just not ready yet? I just want to make sure that we're on the same page, and I want to make sure that I'm not making you feel uncomfortable in any way, shape, or form.
I'll be honest. I don't know that there will be a next time.
Well, then what?
So mostly because I am not trying to make somebody change their mind. They don't want to sleep with me. They don't want to sleep with me, and I'm okay with that.
But this is where your lack of communication comes in, Jamie, is because it may not be that she didn't want to. It may have just been she wasn't ready to, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, not what I gather. And there's parts of the story I'm not able to share.
Well, yes. I mean, I get that there's some things that are going to be
there are definitely, like I said, there's a lot of different things that I would be able to add to this story that I'm omitting purposely. You know what I mean?
Well, then if your gut is that you did the right thing, then you did the right thing and move on.
So, obviously, everybody thinks that I'm a slut, and then I'm just going to sleep around with everybody and everything.
Me too. Oh my gosh, we should start a club.
Yes, the what, slut by name only?
Yeah.
And it is what it is. Ultimately, I'm not trying to.
I don't really care.
Yeah, exactly. I have no interest in whatever. Okay, good for you guys. That's all. Right, cool. You think that I'm a slut? Perfect. I'm glad my reputation precedes me. And that's what I tell you. What that's kind of it goes across the board. Being a super fan makes you think that you sleep around.
Do you know how many guys I've had sex with that I've never had sex with? Let's make a list.
I kind of have very similar situations. I get some women get so pissed off at me because they feel like that I'm doing things that I'm not doing, and I'm not even with them, and they're getting pissed off at me.
I think that goes back to real solid communication and solid transparency.
I agree. But what my purpose here was to ask, when is it appropriate?
When is it appropriate? I'm going to go back to, it's appropriate when the two of you are ready, whenever that is.
So a lot of people here are not, I assume a lot of our viewers are not in relationships. So
I think we have more viewers that are in relationships.
I don't know. I guess we'd have to poll that.
Maybe we should pull that. Maybe that's a thing that we should pull.
How many people are, I chose right now that we have like 12 viewers right now. Out of the 12 viewers that we have right at this moment, how many of you are single?
Are single? Just give us a thumbs up.
One for single, two for
two for in a relationship. One for single, two for a relationship. That's all you got to comment. All you got to do is push a button.
Exactly. And hit enter. So I don't even know. Everybody's afraid. Everybody's afraid.
I was going to look on my page to see if we were getting different comments on my page, because I know that we are live on my page, and just to see what's going on.
Actually, we can see your page today because you're the only Facebook page that's even provided. So Mandy gives a thumbs up.
Yeah, Mandy is single and ready to mingle.
And not only is she getting courted by singles, she's getting courted by couples as well.
That's because Mandy's drop dead gorgeous. And I can see how guys and girls would like her. Totally get it.
And Mandy's from where? Alabama?
No, Mandy is from Brooksville area here in Florida.
Oh, okay. There you go. So
she's not far from me.
Have I met Mandy? Was she on the show once?
She was on the show, but I don't think she was on the show when you were on the show.
Okay.
I think that was the night that you had a family emergency and you couldn't make it on. And then Mandy came on with me for a little while.
Joel's been single for the last 6 years.
6 years? Joel, you need to go on a date.
Joel, when you say that you've been single for the last 6 years, that 6 years? All right, so she said she met me at one of the Pro Bowls. I've only been to one.
Oh, you know what? It was when Mandy was there at the Hawkapalooza tailgate when you were there. So you did meet Mandy.
Okay. I will say that I met a lot of people that day. I was a bird in the wrong nest.
You were a bird in the very wrong nest. How have you been single for 6 years?
So Joel's been single for 6 years. Does that mean, Joel, that you don't date at all? So he broke up with his ex in 2015. But
okay, so haven't.
Joel, have you been on dates, or is it just you have just been
not dating at all?
At all, correct. And either way, just so that I'm sure he's typing in his response here. I mean, I've been single for a couple of years now. You know what I mean?
You have been single for a couple of years.
And I am not in any race to go become unsingle.
But you're not in a relationship.
He has not been dating at all due to his work schedule.
That's a poor excuse, Joel. Figure it out. Take a girl on a date.
Joel, are you any relation to Jeremy? His last name is Bloom.
All the questions.
Jeremy Bloom. was the snowboarder from the Olympic snowboarder who
Yes.
also was a Philadelphia Eagle for a minute. That's the only reason why I asked. So, and no, he's
so
not.
my girlfriend Shannon, and I wanted to send you the TikTok for it, but she's on a work thing, and then I couldn't get her to unlock it so that we could share it, because she's one that you can't automatically download them.
Right.
She asked the question, what for a guy, where does it go where is your point where it goes from dating into a relationship? What is that? What flips the switch in your head that you are gone from dating to now I'm in a relationship with this
You know,
person?
it's interesting because I saw that. I saw that video, which surprises me because I have not seen many of your videos lately. You're not on my Facebook page very much. But I saw that one. And it was I don't know if I saw her or I saw somebody's stitch.
It could have been either one, but she asked the question.
And for me personally, when does it go from just dating to being in a relationship? It's when I want to see. Truth of the matter is, I guess I'll be bluntly honest with this one. It's when I answer texts when they text. And that's a straight real answer. Like when somebody texts me, I will get right back to them. That's something that would express to me because I'm not a texter. I'm not.
You're not a texter.
I am not a texter. I ain't interested. I ain't trying to do any of that. Like I'm just, I'm not even a phone guy. I'm like, yeah, hello, yeah, bye. That's that.
I mean, I can tell you the one thing I know about you is I can send you 5 text messages in a week and you won't respond to me. But if I call you, more than likely you're either going to answer or you're going to call me back.
Yeah,
however,
I'll answer to you and tell you I got to call you back. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Just because if you're calling me, then I know that you need something. You know what I mean? Because
Correct.
you don't just call me arbitrarily.
I don't just call you to call you for no reason. I'm calling you for a reason.
And that's kind of how it is with me. Like I don't, and I'll even go far back as my mother would yell at me all the time because she goes, "Why don't you ever call your mother?" I'm like, well, why don't you ever call me? Your fingers ain't broken. You know what I mean? And she never looked at that as the right answer because, but she always wanted me to be the one that initiated the call. And I would initiate the call sometimes when I needed to talk to her about something, you know what I mean? Or I needed something, but when I didn't need anything, I didn't really call because I'm not a caller. I'm not somebody who's time. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's what I'm doing. I'm hanging up the phone. I'm not interested. And, there are times when I will talk to a girl for an hour on the phone. And that's
a long time.
Phase. Because we haven't even met yet. So we're talking about who we are.
Who we are in general as people.
So, and that's an hour-long conversation. Sometimes.
Oh God. I think that's probably like months of conversation for me. Trying to figure out who I am.
Oh, well, exactly. I'm in the same boat. I'm like, I'm a hot mess. Cheers.
Hi. Welcome to my world.
But I personally tend to have sex faster than not most of the time. I usually will meet somebody and have sex on the first date. Doesn't necessarily mean I'll have a second date with them. But
No.
I have done that probably more frequently than not.
Girls need to stop putting that expectation out there, though, that just because if you do means that.
Well, you know what? And there's been times where I've been like that. I've been on a date with a girl, and I want to end it, and they continually try to keep it going by offering more and offering more and offering more. Such a weird story to tell. This one story.
I would just find that so unattractive.
Well, it kind of happened that way. Like, so I met this girl one time, and her name was Jamie, spelled the same way mine was. She had the exact same birthday.
Jamie, could you imagine calling your name out while having sex? Is that a thing?
Oh, I am big on that. I love it.
Really?
Yeah. What's I? Oh, well, first off, they're calling my name out. They ain't calling her name out, but it's still kind of cool. You know what I mean? It just, she can't.
I get the whole a girl calling your name out, but to call your name out and it to be that you're the same name, I don't know if I don't. All right.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Not even a little bit. But not only did she have the same name as me, she had the same birthday. What are the odds of that happening? And then us going on a date. We went on the date, and the date was kind of fun. And then she brought me back to her place, and she didn't want me to leave. I had to get up for work in the morning. I'm like, all right, it's like 2:30 in the morning. It's time for me to go. And she's like, no, I don't want you to go. And then she's like, well, let's do this. And then let's do this. And then let's do this. I mean, there's a few things that I remember about the date after the date was the fact that for some reason or another, she didn't have much furniture in her apartment. That we were on the floor doing this. And it was a blanket over a hardwood floor. I can't answer much more beyond that. I don't know if she just moved in. I don't know what the story was. I just know that we were at her place and that we were on a blanket on the floor in her apartment. And ultimately, I want to say one thing led to the next, led to the next, led to the next, led to the next. The fact that I didn't leave there until 4:30 in the morning. And she still was unhappy with me that I left.
That's just weird.
Well, because she wanted me to stay the night.
I mean, I get the fact that, if you want somebody to stay the night and they're leaving, but at some point in time, there's that personal boundary where people are just not always comfortable with sleeping at other people's house. They want to go home and sleep in their own bed and get up for work tomorrow and have their own routine. It's just their thing. And until they get to know you better, they want to go home.
Right. You know, this isn't that song by Chicago. You know, stay the night. You know, it's Peter Cetera singing it. That's all. I can hear it in my ears. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like I said, I told that story. I told that story really to say this one. You know, that I have had more instances where I have had sex on the first date than not. And some women warrant the second date. Some women don't. Other women get it. You know, hey, this is just a date and I want to do this. I want to have a good time. And then we're going to be able to go and live our lives like normal human beings till we have our next date. You know what I mean? And they are more of the serial dating type. I figure myself as a serial dater right now.
I mean,
I'm not dating a lot, but I'm serial about it.
Right.
I'm definitely Lucky Charms.
You can be a Lucky Charm.
I'm magically delicious. Come on, that was funny. That was funny,
was
everybody.
You know what? I have no comment for that one because you know me, I just want to say something incredibly inappropriate and somebody will take it the wrong way. So I'm just going to not.
You could have said it. This is your show, so.
It's true. It's true.
But
I am. So yeah, no, our show tonight is not on Two Birds at all.
not at all.
Not at all.
I see it right here. I keep trying to put it on, and it's saying, nope, you've got another hour.
Not at all. Now, I did
11:30 is when I'm allowed to get off, when I'm getting off of this.
I did see the notification. I don't know if you saw it, that Sony Music asked us to take our video down because they have the rights to that video.
Oh, yeah. Well, they deleted it. I deleted it. So you don't have to worry about that.
I deleted it too. It kept telling me the same thing. So
yeah, it was just. Yeah, that was last week's when we were playing the song. And you know what? The truth of the matter is that I don't care. I don't care that they have the rights. We ain't making any money off of this. I just want to do my show. Shut up, Sony. Kiss my ass.
I'm gonna call Carrie Underwood and ask her myself.
Exactly. And maybe we'll have her come on. She can sing it live, and then nobody can say a word about it. Bastards. You know what? I have some TikToks today.
All right, let's TikTok it away before I lose power here. I hear the storm getting worse and worse as I sit here.
Starting off with my favorite guy. He is the badass guy. Starting with him.
You want to know the single biggest crock of shit that you've been taught, that we've all been taught when it comes to love, when it comes to cheating, when it comes to divorce or breakups, hell, when it comes to families, when it comes to work? It's simply this: actions speak louder than words. It's total fucking bullshit. And you want to know how you know it's bullshit? By the simple fact that we say it to people. When you say it to your friend, you say, you know, actions speak louder than words. The simple fact that you're having to say it means that they're listening to the words rather than looking at the action. That's how powerful the words are. That a person will actually listen to the fucking words as opposed to a whole fucking long pattern of behavior indicating the actions. That's how powerful the words are. Actions don't speak louder than words. It's fucking crock. Words are like, you're like mainlining their bullshit. So let me ask you simply this: whose words do you continue to listen to? They're fucking yammering from their mouth despite all their fucking actions. Maybe it's time to change. Have a kick-ass day.
Have a kick-ass day.
Kick-ass day.
I like that dude. You know, like I know we say it every week, but you know, I like the in-your-face, no bullshit, like, this is the fucking problem that you run into all the time, and stop it, asshole. You know what I mean? Knock it off. So some of these this week are deep. Some of them are not so deep. We're going to start in the shallow water.
All right. Swimming.
Smooth like butter, like a criminal undercover. Don't pop like trouble, breaking into your heart like that. Cool shade stunner, yeah, owe it all to my mother.
It was quick, but these were very specific. I want to show it again because it was so fast so that everybody could see. These are definite things that are benefits to women of orgasming.
Smooth like butter, like a criminal undercover. Don't pop like trouble, breaking into your heart like that. Cool shade stunner, yeah, owe it all to my mother.
Hey, you know what, Jamie? I am a true believer of sex and coffee in the morning. So there you go.
There you go. Sex and coffee.
I am the
I'm not a
most
coffee drinker.
productive
So
person in the whole entire world with sex and coffee.
there you go. There you
I'm
go.
in a great mood for the rest of the day.
So, like I said, that was pretty shallow. That was very shallow water
That was
right
pretty
there.
low. It's
So
fine.
I'm gonna
It's
go. I think
I
this.
think guys need to know that though.
I agree. That's why I wanted to share it twice. This one, I think is also not so ridiculously shallow. Like it's not. We're not getting into the heavy, deep waters yet.
The deep, deep waters.
Tell me about your worst Tinder date. I'll go first. The guy came over, I made dinner. After we ate, he went to the restroom. He came out looking kind of embarrassed and said, "Do you have a plunger?" To which I said, "I don't. I just moved and I don't have a plunger yet." It's like, I'm so embarrassed. And I said, "Don't worry about it. I'll go to the store and I'll get a plunger tomorrow. I'll take care of it." He said, "Cool," and tried to make a move on me. I couldn't really get past the thought of like his shit in my toilet, so I was like, not really feeling it. He kept trying, kissed me, slapped me really hard on the ass, to which I said, "Stop, no." He turned it around and said, "I don't know if you've had past trauma before or been abused, but like, I don't really want to have to walk on eggshells around you." What?
I am like what? Yeah. No. First off, I'll be honest.
First off, why are you having a Tinder date show up to your house and you're cooking them dinner?
It was but that was the pandemic. So I mean, it's a whole different scenario.
Right.
The fact that he couldn't hold it and had to
I don't want to know. You don't even know what she cooked for dinner. He could be lactose intolerant or had some stomach issue or something, and she didn't run the menu by him. You don't know. You don't know because you don't know each other because you met each other on Tinder. So why are you inviting him to your brand new apartment where the toilet is clean and now it's not so clean? And how do you not have a plunger? I've never not had a plunger. I mean, I have children. I have a plunger. I don't care how many times I have moved. I have had plungers.
I can't speak intelligently for it, but I know that. All right. Imagine the type of. You know what? I don't even need to imagine because the truth of the matter is that. First off, I am a weirdo like that. I will not do that unless I absolutely have no choice. Like, I'll hold it. I'm one of those guys. Like, hey, listen. I mean, not for nothing. Like, if we go get ice cream is like the worst thing in the world for me to go get on a date.
And my son is lactose intolerant. I get it. I understand.
So if I'm going to go get ice cream, I am not going to be a fun person to be around.
No.
An hour and a half later. However, if I am on a date and I eat ice cream because it's like a sweet thing to go do ice cream, I'll hold it. And my eyes will start popping out of my head because I'm ready to fucking explode. But I'll hold it just because I'm not going to fart on a first date.
Please don't fart on a first date.
I try my best not to.
I would have to say that that's probably one of my my hard no's. If you're going to fart on a first date, that's a hard no for me.
There you go. No farting on a first date.
It's a hard no for me.
If you
If you feel like
no
you are that
on the first
comfortable
one.
in front of me to fart in front of me on a first date is a hard no.
I mean, and there's been times where I've held it for and I get out in the car and it's like, oh my God, it's like I release and it is like
great. Go somewhere. Go be like, oh, I gotta go outside and take a phone call really fast. Figure it out.
Yeah, that don't work. That don't work the way you think it would.
I
And then like you like try to be sneaky about it. You're like trying to hold it
right in
in,
front of me.
like let it slip out away, and then it starts to make the noise. You know, it's like you know, it's not fun at all. Not fun at all. So I understand her pain. I understand a bit. Like, hey, listen, you just shit in my toilet, and now I got to clean it up. It's got to sit there all night.
There's nothing about that says I want to now have sex with you.
Exactly. That's exactly correct. So I would have been like, hey, listen, you know, this has been a great dinner. I would love to see you again, just not right now.
Not right now.
because I'm going to go blow up somebody's toilet, and I don't want it to be yours. You know.
I'm glad we had this talk.
Yeah, listen, this is the ins and outs of dating. You know what I mean? This is part of this. Somebody needed to hear this tonight. One of the 3 or 5 people that are still on here needed to hear this. So, no pooping in somebody else's toilet on a first date.
Don't do it.
So, all right. They start to get a little deeper as we go forward. So,
I mean, that was deep down the toilet. So
that was stopped up the toilet. So, there we go. Next one.
To all the men out there, I just really want to take a moment to acknowledge you, because I think that our society has decided that only men are narcissists and that only women are being abused. And we're not really allowing men to have a safe place to have a voice, because you're a man, right? Like you don't get abused. Women can't do anything to you. And that's just not true. And I just really, really want to thank those of you that are reaching out and commenting and spreading this awareness, because we are all getting abused. We're all capable of being abused, and we're all capable of being abusers. And I'm just really, I just really can't understand what it's like to be in your position, living in a world where it's not understood that men are abused, and it's just not accepted.
So I got a lot of these this week. You know, last week where I was saying that there was a lot on cheating.
What side of TikTok did you end up on?
This week there was a lot of women speaking out for men, which I found interesting. You know, there was, and she's fairly attractive, the girl in this video. Some of them aren't, some of them are, but a lot of them. There was a lot of them this week, like 8 of them, 9 of them that I saw that I was going to. Like I went down that I'm like, no, this isn't the narrative that I'm trying to get across. However, I did download a couple of them. And of course, the next one is my girl. You know, this is the girl who is like the champion of guys here. You know,
the champion of guy.
She's the one that's always protecting the guys thing. But you know, this one was a good one here. And of course, we see her every week, and this week will be no exception.
A good man that knows his value but has been through stuff will create his own peace and chill in it and wait for a woman to add to it. They are not out there dating a new girl every week and spending all of their money, because they are building. These are the highest quality of men. And if you find one, get his attention and do not let him go.
Exactly.
I believe it.
You know, and it's funny because I wonder, do I put myself into that realm? Because I'm not out there fully soliciting a date.
No.
You know what I mean? And do I know my worth? Do I know? I feel like I have a pretty good idea of what my worth is. And that's the reason why I'm able to kind of be like, okay, I am just me, you know, and, you know, I'll maybe be in a relationship, I maybe won't be in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like it's going to take somebody to absolutely do that for me, to be able to make that all happen. That being said, it's I don't know that I 100% fall into that category that I'm waiting for a girl to be able to add to it. However, I am waiting for a woman to be able to step in and how do I put this? Take charge of the places in my life I want somebody to take charge in.
You need to find. You're trying to find your balance.
Kind of. Where I look at it more as I have been consistently looking for the hostess as I'm the host.
Yes, you say that all the time.
Like that's who I want. She's gotta complete the party, not have me carry her. I'm the social one. I need her to be social. I want to be able to look across a room, catch her eye for a second, do something like make it like a funny face or whatever, and know that after the party's over, that we're gonna not worry about cleaning up because we're gonna just
have fun
in the mess. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I want. You know what I mean? And that's not easy to find.
That is not easy to find.
Simple. So and so that may be pie in the sky. That may be a little Disney fairy tale-ish on a guy's side.
I mean, we all have our things. It's okay to have your thing and what you want, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, I agree. So but like I said, if that's what you're looking for, then that's what you're trying to find, and that's what happens. So the next two start to get fairly deep. I'm going to start with this one. It's probably the lesser deep of the two. And this is a top 10. And here we go.
By request, these are the 12 signs of a toxic woman. Number 1, she's always questioning where you are and will get upset if you don't immediately answer her calls or texts. Number 2, she never apologizes or admits when she's wrong. She's always trying to take the guilt away from herself. Number 3, she's spiteful, holds grudges, and can even be violent. Number 4, she's incapable of trust. She's always accusing you of cheating. Number 5, she keeps tabs on your mistakes and will throw them in your face when she's upset. Number 6, she will use a lack of intimacy as currency or punishment. Number 7, she will use temper tantrums and fighting to stop you from having a life outside of her. Number 8, she has a double standard, asking you to do things she's not willing to do. Number 9, she'll belittle your accomplishments or point out your flaws and attempt to give you low self-esteem. Number 10, she'll use emotion as a weapon. Crying, anger, and sadness will instantly stop when she gets her way. Number 11, she resorts to ultimatums when things don't go her way. Number 12, she has extreme behavior. She can be obsessive, jealous, or her emotions can go from 0 to 100 in a couple of seconds.
That was so all over the place. Like I would literally have to take time to break every single one of those down.
Yeah. It was 12. It should have been maybe 6, and 2 separate.
I feel like we could take that TikTok and make an entire show out of it and literally just break one by one down.
We probably could. And
because there was definitely things in there that I agree with, but there was definitely things in there that I would be like, oh no, hard pass. No, that's not what that means.
Right. And Mandy, I'm going to touch on what you just wrote about there in just a minute. But we're going to finish the last TikTok, and then we'll get to your
Mandy
last
story. Just blurt it out.
Yeah. So this is the deepest of the TikToks. And I know that when we're showing these TikToks, you could definitely tell the ones that come from you and the ones that come from me. And there wasn't any that came from you this week.
No. I didn't. I was on the wrong side side of TikTok this week. I didn't find any good TikToks to share with you. The only one that I really wanted to share with you was Shannon's TikToks, and I texted her, and by the time I saw it, she was at work and she didn't have access to get it to us for us to be able to download it and do all that. So
it didn't happen. But this one's
it didn't happen. But
this one's
I was not on the right side of TikTok this week. I can tell you that.
This one's a fairly deep one, and it's, I'll just let it speak for itself.
All right.
Every man needs a woman when his life is a mess. Because just like in a game of chess, the queen protects the king.
So, yeah, I mean, obviously that was a fairly deep one. It's like, especially when they're not, really talking.
Right.
When it's somebody kind of looking there and they put the words up and you got to read it, and
you got to read it, and you're listening to the music, and it's like the whole
right. It makes it a little bit more deep in that regards. The only other person that I can think of that can actually talk and still be deep is that Creative Wonders.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that guy's got the voice. He's like, blah, 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 blah.
I know. It's
that real deep voice that's just automatic. And
see, now that video, it goes back to the video that we keep talking about week after week, is jump in the pool.
Well, that was talking about how the girl jumps in the pool.
Right.
Not the guy. That was specifically on the opposite side of that, saying, hey, yeah, the girl's jumping in the pool, not the guy.
But it doesn't matter who's jumping in the pool. Eventually, one needs to jump in the pool for the other. At some point in time in your relationship, one of you needs to jump in the pool for the other.
Correct.
Jump in the pool.
Because you guys are both swimming. You guys are both swimming in this.
Yeah.
But I started to read this during one of the videos, and I'm like, I got to come back to this one.
Mandy.
And Mandy actually went out on a date a few weeks ago. Unfortunately, it was over before it began. Short story. Met him off of Facebook dating. Talked for a while. He was rather annoying, but having numerous pictures of my body. Said he was 5'11", yet he was 5'3". If you will lie about something as stupid as your height, what else you lie about? Shake my head. Well, first off, he's saying he's 5'11", and he's only 5'3". You can't hide that. Like,
no, but I've had that happen to me.
I have never, actually, it's been interesting because I feel like that women that are tall, that when women that are 5'8" or more are very nervous about it. And I guess because this happens a lot more frequently than
that was some wind.
Oh, was that wind that you heard? Mm-hmm. Oh. I thought maybe Mr. Big farted or something. No, but realistically, there are women out there. Now, Facebook dating is an interesting thing. I have a lot of connects on Facebook dating. However, all of my Facebook dating has me with makeup on. The first question every woman asks me off of Facebook dating is, what do you look like without your makeup? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't have any pictures of that.
Fair. I mean,
You
that's
know?
a fair question and a fair answer.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, it's a fair question
what are
and
you
a fair
talking about?
answer.
What do you mean? I look like this all the time.
Yeah. This is just how I run around every single day of my life.
So I have read a lot of the profiles, and like I am really big on reading these profiles because I feel like that the profiles on all of the dating sites is where the content is. It has nothing to do with the way the person looks, and to be honest, like I want to do a theory. I want to test a theory, and I want to send out a picture of my body, just my body, from my, like from my nipples down, where they don't get to see my head at all, and write about how much I am a douche and see if anybody responds.
I think you should.
Because ultimately I hear about other people doing this, and they get like 38 to 40 responses. That
I think we should do a test.
And it's like how do you why would you respond to that?
Because girls are kooky.
Girls don't want nice guys, especially on Tinder.
Not always.
They
Not
can
all
put all
girls
they
want
want that
nice
they're
guys.
trying to find a relationship. They're trying to get laid.
And not all girls want relationships, and not all girls want nice guys, and not all girls want Mr. Wonderful, and there's a lot of it's the same way with guys. I mean, there's a variety of everybody. Like, you just have to find the right match for you.
Well,
and clearly Mandy didn't find the right match. And by the way, Mandy, I would have been completely annoyed by the time he was like, can I get another picture? Can I get another picture? Can I get another picture? Because my response would be then, I already have pictures. They're on my profile. You clearly can see what I look like. Are you just trying to start a photo album here? If that's the case, you need to start sending me money, Venmo me.
You know what else gets me, since we're talking about this? Finding significant others on TikTok. TikTok love affairs. I find that very interesting because I find a couple of women attractive on TikTok, but the women that I find attractive on TikTok are the same women that every guy finds attractive on TikTok, and they've got like 150 to 250,000 followers. And I'm not really interested in trying to weed through that to see if they'll pick me. You know what I mean?
No.
Blow me. You know what I mean? I got more going on than most of those idiots going on, so I don't really care. You know what I mean? That all being said, there have been times where I have reached out to certain women to be like, oh, okay, like just, hey, I wouldn't mind being friends with you. You know what I mean? Because that's how I'd be. I'd be like, hey, listen, I'd rather talk to you, get to know you a little bit before I can figure out whether I'd be interested in doing anything else with you. You know what I mean? Because I haven't, I'm a firm believer that there is going to be some girl who's going to sweep me off my feet.
Do you know how often I look at my TikTok inbox messages?
I don't know. Never. See, I'm one of those people and I can't stand it.
I never
can't stand it because you will let it all build up and have like 150,000 different things. I got to clear it all. Like, I'm like, I don't want to see any of these. I don't want to know on my thing.
Yeah, no, I'm not
I got OCD when it comes to stuff.
It drives my daughter insane, but that kind of stuff doesn't bother me. I'm the same way with my Facebook Messenger, though. I couldn't tell you how many unread messages I have. Just because I don't.
Looks fake.
I don't need to have a conversation with every man that message me and says, "Hi, beautiful. How's your day going?"
Well, and I'm a big believer that I don't say hi, beautiful. I am not going to comment on how a woman looks. You know, like I try to do something other than that. You know, if I compliment her on her looks, it's going to be as a second or like a secondary or even you know, I'm going to say this ridiculously, a thirdary compliment. You know, like, hey, listen, I'm reading your profile and I kind of dig this one thing about you. You know what I mean? You know, and then look at that. Like, you got looks and you got this thing going on. You know what I mean? Like, and that's kind of how I'll do it. I won't be like, hey, you're gorgeous, sweetheart. Let's go do this. Why don't you choose me because I'm saying that you're beautiful? Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? That's such crack of shit. I mean, I don't know. That's just my thing, but you know, I have been told just throughout my every relationship that I have a hard time complimenting the women on their looks. So maybe that's one of the stigmas I have as a problem, because women need that reassurance.
I mean, I want to be, yes, I do need that reassurance, but I don't need that reassurance from every single man. I could hear it.
You just want it from the one man.
Right. I could hear it from 50,000 different guys all day long. And that has absolutely no meaning to me because they don't know me personally. But if the man that I'm with or my son tells me I look beautiful, it means something completely different to me. Then it's actually sincere and it's meaningful.
Right. You know, a buddy of mine says something to me all the time. You know, he's like, you show me a hot chick and I'll show you a guy who's tired of sleeping with her. You know, and that's a very true statement.
It is a true statement.
You know, and you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, you know. Same thing with the other way, though. Like, actually, it's different the other way. You find a really ridiculously gorgeous guy, women will flock to him, and it won't matter. Yeah, I have a cousin who is Italian. Yeah, obviously, because I'm Italian.
Obviously.
He's from Italy is what I meant to say. He's Italian. And he came over one day and he stayed at my house. Like he's my age. And as far as attractiveness goes, like if he wasn't my cousin and that kind of thing did it for me, I'd try to fuck him. You know what I mean? It's like out of the catalog type of stuff. Like you're just like damn. Like how is it that you look that good and I look like me? You know what I mean? Like how is that possible?
I don't know.
But that all being said, it doesn't matter what he's doing or how he's doing it. He's going to get looks and he's going to have women come approach him all the time. And I know because I took him out.
Right.
It's like it's
because it happens.
It happens. It's and I'm just like, and I'm sitting there and I'm just watching because now it's like it's funny because I watch him flounder a little bit because one, he's having a hard time with the words.
Right.
He doesn't speak English great. And you have not just the good-looking women, but then you have the okay-looking women, and then even the not-so-good-looking women come up, and like you can't get away. You're stuck.
Can't get away
because they are blocking you in. They're like, no, I got you right here, right now. So I watch it, and it's funny to me how that all comes about, but
craziness.
But so that being said, it's like I said, good looking women are not a dime a dozen. You know what I mean? They're not a dime a dozen. But a good-looking woman is not going to have the same type of appeal as a ridiculously good-looking guy in that respect.
Maybe. Who knows? I don't know. Most of the guys that everybody else finds attractive, I don't find attractive at all. So you never know.
I know. I've seen Mr. Big. There we go. I was a quick busting.
That was a quick busting. He's adorable in my book, which is all that matters. All right. I'm going to head out because the storm's getting really bad here. I'm going to go check on my...
I can hear it a little bit in the background.
Yeah, I'm going to go check on my babies, make sure everything's okay.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you for hanging with us this Tuesday night. We really appreciate it. I know it was a little tough to find us this time around because...
I'm sorry. Jamie's in Facebook jail.
I'll be out of Facebook jail just as we end this show.
Well, there you go.
So
happens.
I'll be able to share it after the fact.
Well,
and
Jamie,
Mandy, if you need some help with your dating, we could have one-to-one conversations, and I'll be able to help you with this. You are in Florida. I'm in Pennsylvania, so there's no
weirdness.
No weirdness going on with that.
No weirdness going on.
Yeah, and I know that you're friends with Crystal, so I'm going to take that as full consideration. You would be treated like she would be treated.
Mandy, he treats me very well. And Mandy, stay safe tonight too. I know that you're not that far away from me. I'll check on you in the AM.
But everybody in Florida, please be safe. And after the storm comes and is over, congratulations on your impending Stanley Cup victory down there in Tampa. I knew it all season long that it was going to be.
Let it go. Let it go. Can Olaf just show up on my door? I just want Olaf to show up. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be that cold. But if there's a tornado, there'll be a lot of ice around.
Right? I want to build a snowman. All right. On that note, good night, y'all. Have a fantastic evening. I will check in the morning and let everybody know that I'm safe and everything's fine. I'm sure it will be.
Everybody have a great night and go get dating.
Good night.